Hey everybody, what's going on? And welcome to Guns N' Roses Central, and we've got some major news for you guys. Now this is a developing story, so I'll probably be updating the story as the week goes on. Now there's been some more Guns N' Roses leaks, it appears. There's a song called Atlas Shrugged that appears to have leaked at least a 3-second snippet of it. So there's about a 20-page thread at the MyGNR forum discussing the unreleased material from the band during the Chinese Democracy sessions, and I have listened to the 3-second clip of Atlas Shrugged, and I honestly don't really know what to make of it. It's only 3 seconds long. You hear a little bit of Axl's vocals with some acoustic guitars and some electric guitars, along with some drums on the toms. That's basically all it is. There may have been a newer version of the song leaked, but there's been one poster on the MyGNR forums who shed a lot more light on the leaks. It's a person named Axl Rose Fan for Life, and I think I know who it is because I've actually talked to this person before. And they shed a lot of light we previously hadn't known before. Now, I know some people will say, well, how do you know he's telling the truth? He is the person who was partially responsible for the House of Blues show from 2001 that got leaked online. So here's what he had to say. He said, there's a ton of stuff out there that hasn't leaked. Over 15 CDs from the Chinese Democracy sessions have been found in some Geffen executive storage locker. The GNR stuff in the locker was sold to a fan who has all the stuff. Tracks include perhaps third Brian May song, a song named Zodiac, Hard School. It's also known as the song Checkmate, Oklahoma, Atlas, Billionaire, $3 Pyramid, and all of the Appetite for Destruction re-recorded sessions from 1998 and so much more. He would go on to say, I've heard a clip, not sure what the board members want for it though. I've tried reaching out to no reply. I've spoken to the guy who originally purchased the locker and got a lot of info from him. There really isn't nothing to trade for because it's the motherlode. He also said the recordings are from a studio called The Village. He said only a few people have been involved with it. I'm not going to reveal any names, but it's a small circle. The CDs are from the recording sessions at The Village. He would also go on to talk a bit about Tom Zutaut, who was the A&R guy who discovered Guns N' Roses back in 1986, but he was also involved with Chinese Democracy in early 2001 for about 8 months. And he had 2 lockers that apparently he left some old recordings in. He said one locker contained the Use Your Illusion DAT tapes. The second contained Chinese Democracy tapes recorded at the Village pre-Buckethead. The 15 CDs are not just full songs. For example, one CD has various drum tracks and guitar tracks. There's a lot of instrumentals. Only about 15 songs have actual lyrics. This was found out because for a short period of time, one CD actually appeared for sale on eBay, but was removed when the board member from this part purchased it and then basically bought the rest of them. So he'd go on to say, both lockers were sold. The Use Your Illusion tapes was sold to a group of collectors who chipped in, but it's nothing real special because they just sound like the final versions. Locker 2 with the Chinese stuff was sold to one person, and that person is a member of this board, referring to the MyGNR forums. They refuse to talk, which is understandable. I know who all the buyers are. I've spoken to the original person who bought the locker with the Chinese stuff. He isn't a GNR fan, so he doesn't realize the value of what he had. The same poster said, so one poster actually asked Axl Rose Fan for Life a question saying, this is awesome. Interesting, they're all pre-Buckethead though. I wonder if songs like Atlas, General, etc. are included on the 15 CDs. He said, and Axl Rose Fan for Life responded saying, not General, that was during Bucket's time, but Atlas, Time, Zodiac, which there's 2 versions of, Hard School, Perhaps Going Down, which is a song that leaked a while back with only Tommy on lead vocals, Oklahoma, The Rebel, Appetite re-recorded, Dummy, and Billionaire. So as we get more information on the story, guys, I will keep you updated on it. Turning now to some other Guns N' Roses related news. So YouTube has apparently changed their copyright claim policy. So if you guys have been looking for old Guns N' Roses videos or songs on YouTube, you've probably noticed that a lot of those have disappeared, and that's because of YouTube's stupid copyright policy. So before, the way it worked is if you were a copyright holder, you could literally go claim thousands of videos without providing any proof whatsoever. But now what they've done is they've actually required copyright holders to specify the timestamp of which their material is being used without their permission. And they've actually made it a little bit harder now. So hopefully that means we'll start seeing some more Guns N' Roses videos back on the platform, especially with the band touring this fall. But I guess we'll have to wait and see what comes to light. So according to Team YouTube, they said lots to come with copyright today. We're starting with a few changes. There's manual claims now require timestamps showing exactly what is claimed, and improved editing tools will easily remove manually claimed content and automatically release claims. Turning now to some other Guns N' Roses news. So Duff has been out promoting his latest record, Tenderness, and he stopped by Spin Magazine and was asked about back in 2016, the presidential election, and what Guns N' Roses camp's reaction was to Donald Trump getting elected. And he said that we were in Sao Paulo in Brazil on election day. He said, "My mother instilled in me that it's impolite to talk about money, politics, and religion. So as opposed to commenting on the election and the current administration, I will tell you this. I've lived long enough and I've read enough history that predates me by a couple thousand years. These things are cyclical. We tend to pay too much attention to what's going on to really sink in as far as I did in those 4 months I'm telling you about. It's not healthy, it's not good for you, and it's really not real. It's all lobbyists. In punk rock bands, that's who we're basically rallying against, the man. We knew it then, and it wasn't our mayor. It wasn't our elected officials. It was the lobbyists behind the whole thing. I learned a lot from old punkers back then. I didn't understand what the Clash was talking about at first. I didn't understand what stiff little fingers, what's a suspect device. Until my mom came in the room when I was listening to that and she looked at the album cover. We're of Irish descent. My grandfather came from Ireland. She started crying. She said, "Those poor boys, this is Bloody Sunday. The suspect device, it's a bomb. And these poor boys had to wade through all this stuff." And I'm like, "What?" And she told me the troubles and things like all that. And I'm like, okay, I had no idea. So suddenly I've redoubled my effort on stiff little fingers and reading names and reading fanzines, and you get a little more politically aware. It's kind of funny that he says this because if you guys remember back, I think it was in 2017, Guns N' Roses played in Mexico and they brought out a piñata of Donald Trump for the audience to beat the hell out of. And of course it made headlines everywhere. So it's kind of funny they say it's impolite to talk about politics, but then they go and do stuff like that. And of course it alienates their fans because some of their fans are Donald Trump supporters. And then even some of the fans who are subscribers to my channel tell me that they're sick of the band talking about politics. I'm kind of amazed that these guys, especially Axl, is so politically outspoken on Twitter. Because I've always wanted to know this. Have you guys ever changed your mind on something because of something a celebrity said? I certainly haven't. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. That does it for today's news.